For today's video, I'm going to be using acrylic yarn by Red Heart Yarn, and this is also a jumbo skein, which is basically 2 skeins in one. I'm also going to be using a 425, some scissors, stitch markers, and some measuring tape. Sometimes I provide different sizes in the description, but this pattern is based on you and your personal fit and preference. So this time I'm just not going to do that. You can also use any hook size and yarn weight that you like, but just know that the bigger hook size you use, the more big and open the gaps will be, but the smaller hook size you use, the more close it'll be. So that's why I'm using a 425 and also half double crochets so that there's very minimal holes. Since this piece is going to be fully backless, I'm going to do the measurement of half of my bust. My bust is 32 inches, which means I'm going to start off by making a chain length of 16. You can also make this longer and wider to fit your preference, and also you can do it fully closed off if you don't want it to be backless. I'm going to begin by making a slip knot, and then I'm going to make a chain length long enough that reaches 16 inches. Once I finish that, I'll let you know how many chains I ended up doing. I just finished my chain length of 55, which measures 16 inches and a half. And since I'm using acrylic yarn is known for stretching, so this might actually be about an inch or two bigger than the intended size I'm going for, but personally that's fine with me. I'm going to be doing rounds of half double crochets, but you can also use double and treble crochets. It might take less time, but it's also going to be a lot more see-through. So to make a half double crochet, you're just going to yarn over and go into this immediate stitch, grab the yarn and pull all the way through. Yarn over, go into the immediate stitch, grab the yarn, pull all the way through, yarn over, go inside the stitch, grab the yarn and pull all the way through. Now I'm going to repeat this until I'm almost done with this row. I'm almost done with my row and I want to get rid of this loose tail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hook in and bring this tail over and simply just crochet over it. Once I finish that, I'll show you how to start the second row. To start the second row, you're going to chain 1 and flip your work. And you're going to go into that first immediate stitch. Sometimes if you skip over it, you're going to have a slanted and crooked line, but if you go straight in, you're going to have a straight edge. So now you're going to yarn over, go straight in, grab the yarn and pull all the way through, yarn over, go straight in, grab the yarn and pull all the way through. And now you're going to repeat this back and forth until you reach your desired length. And personally for me, that might be about 10 or 12 inches, which is long enough to cover my chest and also have a pretty exposed back. And then when I add on the shorts, it's going to be perfect because it's going to cover my back side perfectly and the front side will also be fully covered. So once I finish that, I'll come back, and if I do more or less, I'll let you guys know. I just finished my front panel and this is going to be covering my chest. It is currently 17 inches wide, which means it grew 1 inch from the original measurement, and also 10 inches wide, and I did 24 rows of half double crochets. Now we're going to continue making rounds so we can start our shorts later on. But before we do that, we're going to attach these two parts together, but we're going to do a little bit of math first. So my bust is 32 inches, but I did this half of my bust, which is 16. You're going to subtract 8 inches off your measurement. So since my bust is 32 minus 8 is 24, which means this panel and the chain length in between is going to add up to 24. It sounds like it's a lot being taken off, but if you do this 32 inches exactly, it's going to stretch and also be big and baggy. And the way this fits nice and snug is because since acrylic yarn tends to stretch, doing a little bit first is going to help it expand rather than doing it the full size and then it's big and baggy. So now I'm going to make a chain length of 20, which is going to be from this side and this side, and that is going to be 7 inches long. So once I finish that, I'll come back and show you how to work our rounds. Once you have your chain length of 7 inches, you're going to fold this and you're going to go through the back and slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 1 and flip your work. You see these little back humps over here? We're going to work into that way there's no gaps and it's seamless work. So you're going to yarn over, go through this back hump, and then grab the yarn and pull through. Yarn over, go through the back hump, grab the yarn and pull through. Yarn over, go through the back hump, grab the yarn and pull through. And now you're going to continue this until you finish this entire round, and then I'll show you the secret into having a straight seam. I just finished my first round and this is how the chain length looks like, and notice how it looks super clean and you can't even tell that there's a chain length here. So now you're going to slip stitch and chain one. Now this part is crucial into having a straight seam. You can continue making rounds like normal, but you're going to end up having a slanted and crooked seam. But to have a straight seam, you're going to chain one, and now you're going to flip over your work. Now you're just going to make a round of half double crochets like normal, and then once you finish, you're going to slip stitch and chain one, and then flip your work once again. And you'll be flipping your work after every single round. That way the stitches are consistent to the pattern and you're going to end up having a straight seam. I'm currently 8 rows in, which is 3 inches. And now I'm at the part where I'm going to start increasing for my hips. For the increases, you're going to do it to your fit and also your liking. So what works for me might not work for you. I'm going to be increasing every other row for about every 5 or 6 stitches in between, but again, I might alter that and see what works best for me. I'm going to do 8 rows and 4 of them are going to be increases. I'm going to continue this until I reach my crotch area, and then I'll show you how to do the pant legs. I have done enough rows where I'm at the crotch part, and I ended up doing 23 rows. And now to do this part, you're going to measure the exact middle of your piece, and then you're going to make half double crochets until you reach that point. And to make the pants leg itself, you're going to measure the circumference of your thigh, and you're going to add these two up. So this measures 9 inches. So 9 plus 9 is 18, and 18 minus 24 is 6 inches, which means I'm going to make a chain length of 6 inches to close off the leg hole. However, because the seam isn't exactly in the middle, we're going to make the chain length, and then we're going to make half double crochets and then add our row here, and then continue making rounds until your preference. I'm going to make a chain length of 20, which measures up to 6 inches, and then I'll show you how to attach it to the pants leg. Once you finish your chain length of 20, you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go in the stitch marker, grab the yarn, and finish off the half double crochet. And now you're going to continue making half double crochets until you reach where you started. Once you've reached where you started, you're going to slip stitch and chain one and flip your work. Now you're just going to make regular half double crochet rounds like normal, and I'm going to do this for about 10 rows, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to do the other pants leg. I just finished one of my pants leg, and the way I get rid of the loose tail is by going underneath the stitch and then splitting the yarn in half. So I have 2 and 2, then one goes underneath, other one stays on top, and I simply just tie it off. Once you cut this off, you can start your next pants leg. For the second pants leg, you can start anywhere because the stitches are already predisposed, so you don't have to count or anything. But I want to do my seam in between my thigh, even though the other one is behind my thigh. But it's really up to you because it doesn't really matter where. But you're just going to put your yarn, feed it through, make a knot. Then you're going to grab it and chain one. And now you're going to continue making half double crochet rounds like normal, and I'll meet you back once I finish both pants leg, and then I'll show you how to do the straps for the back. I just finished both pants leg, and now I'm going to add the straps in the back. So you're going to make a chain length of 90, and then once you finish that, you're going to put your hook where you started, and you're going to single crochet your way down until you reach the other side. Once you finish single crocheting your way up, you're going to make a chain length of 90, and once you finish that, you're going to slip stitch your way down on the strap, single crochet on the back, and then slip stitch your way up and tie it off, and then you're done. Once you finish your chain link, I'm going to make a single crochet in the first stitch, and then you're simply just going to slip stitch your way down. And like I just mentioned, you're going to slip stitch your way down on the strap, single crochet on the back, slip stitch your way up, and then just tie it off. This is the final result, and I forgot to include the part where I lace it up in the back, but I just simply tried it on and I just adjusted it to my liking. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next week.